Democrat Senator Angus King is furious at Tulsi Gabbard that she no longer finds global climate change a serious threat to America. Welcome to the Doug channel. You guys know that I like talking about global climate change.
Every single one of these reports that we have had has mentioned global climate change as a significant national security threat, except this one. Has something happened? Has global climate change been solved? Why is that not in this report? And who made the decision that it should not be in the report when it's been in every one of the 11 prior reports?
It's always been done that way. It's always been there before. Why isn't global climate change seen as a formal security threat to the United States of America? Ice caps melting, increased hurricanes, earthquakes, they've said everything. What has changed?
I can't speak to the decisions made previously, but this annual...
I can. It was a religious decision. There's legit people that think that the world will end with weather. I mean, there's scientists that have said that. There's scientists, most of them Democrat, almost all of them left-leaning, all of them funded by the left, have said the world is under great threat due to climate change. I'm going to tell you my bias. That means you don't have to believe what I say is true, but you can trust me that at least I'm giving you my bias, which is I don't think it is that the science and the data has been correctly looked at, measuring rocks, measuring ice, and then making a conclusion over what they think is the global threat. That's my opinion. I think the science has been politicized. The same way that science has been politicized every time it's being conducted by human beings. A scientist will go in and decide, did man evolve? And they'll look at a tooth, ancient tooth or an ancient skull and say, oh, this much brain matter, so of course he evolved.
Annual threat assessment has been focused very directly on the threats that we deem most critical to the United States and our national security. Obviously, we're aware of occurrences within the environment and how they may impact operations, but we're focused on the direct threats to Americans' safety, well-being, and security.
In other words, yeah, we look at the global environments, meaning we're aware that weather changes.
How about how they will impact mass migration?
Mass migration. Okay, now here's a big one. This is the big one that I'll focus on just to give you a great example. What about the effect of mass migration? Which has been a bigger cause of mass migration? Global warming. I want you to think of the worst case scenario of what the globe has done with, might be a famine in a desert somewhere or in a community, a place that used to be robust and full of farmland, which moved 11 million Hispanics, South Americans, Guatemalans, some Iranians to America. That's mass migration. That's the greatest form of mass migration that we've ever experienced, are people coming up to the southern border. It had nothing to do with global warming or weather. So he's talking about a global threat. What is the cause, the greatest cause of that global threat of mass migration? It's economics, and it's not the weather. Same thing with all the Muslims going into Britain, Great Britain, or Somalis. It's not the weather. It's political. There's a reason for it, the politics of it, but he's going with mass migration. That's the one that all the global warming guys love talking about, is the dangers of mass migration. And we've seen, and Trump solved it. He said, come to find out, all you needed was a new president. And our mass migration at our border right now is at zero because it's political. The weather didn't change. The president did.
Famine, dislocation, political violence, which is the finding, by the way, of the 2019 annual threat assessment under the first Trump administration.
Yeah, and the Trump administration was wrong then. And I'll let the global warming guys, the anti-Trumpers, just to know that. The Trump went along with your science back in 2019, and you never gave him any credit. And now you're burning down Tesla dealerships, you environmentalists. Why? Because you don't really believe it. Don't come at me for not believing it. You believe it and act accordingly first. Support Tesla. This guy, this senator right here should be warning everyone going, we need to support these electric cars that are good for the country and saving the world and stopping a domestic threat like changing weather. He won't do it because he's a Democrat, because it's politics.
You don't consider that a significant national security threat?
For the intelligence community, being aware of the environment that we're operating in is a given. What I focused this annual threat assessment on, and the IC focused this threat assessment on, are the most extreme and critical direct threats to our national security.
I'm Doug.